Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Maureen Ikono and I share real structured trading insights to help you grow with clarity and confidence. Today we are diving into one of the most important fundamentals in trading, and that is market structure. Whether you are trading synthetic indices, forex, or even crypto, understanding market structure gives you a reliable way to read price without relying on indicators or whatever thing you guys find here on YouTube. It's the foundation of every trend, every entry, and every reversal in trading. So in this video, I'll break down the core structure types and we can start seeing markets clearly and confidently. Like, there's no fluff, just clean basics. Now let's get into it. Now that we're here and we're ready to learn, I want to suggest that we all watch this video over and over again. If there is anything you don't understand, you ask in the comments. I'll be ready to answer anytime. So what is market structure? Market structure is the framework of price movement on the chart. It shows how the market flows, helps us understand whether the market is trending, ranging, or is choppy, right? But then when we talk of trending market, ranging market, choppy market, there are also basics and fundamentals that guides this price direction or movement, whatever you want to call it. So in a trending market, we know we have uptrend and downtrend, right? In a trending market, we have uptrend and downtrend, and in an uptrend market, we have higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher lows. But there is more to that. It's beyond reciting higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we are going to look at an uptrend market. An uptrend market is where we have higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, higher low. And what does that simply mean? It simply means that each new highs that price is forming is higher than the last. So if you take a close look on the screen, you see that this high here, this is a mistake, pardon me. So if you take a closer look on the screen, you will see we have a higher high, a higher low, and the next high is higher than the previous high. So that is why we say higher high. Okay, and then on to the next, we also see that this current high is higher than the previous high. Okay, and the higher lows, each new low stays above the previous low. Okay, and here we have this low here, higher low, and we have the next one, higher low. We see that this low stays above this low, which brings us to the rule of what we call an uptrend market. So the rule of an uptrend market is whatever price is doing, do not break these lows. That is the simple rule. You have one objective, and that objective is to break the highs. Basically, that is what an uptrend market is. An uptrend market, in a very simple and basic way, is break all the highs but do not touch the lows. Okay, so after that, we now look at the basics, what makes up market structure, or what makes up an uptrend structure. We have structure breaks, And this matters because it's going to help us identify trend direction, right? For example, if price is coming, we have this BOS that was identified. If price breaks it, we know that yes, price is still going up. But if it doesn't break it, we know that price is likely coming back down. Okay? So always mark out your highs and always mark out your lows. It will help you time when there is break of structure. Does that make sense? Now, how do you know price is ready to pull back? So after a break of structure, we expect a pullback. Now it might not happen immediately, but how do you anticipate this break of structure? You anticipate it with what we call shock, change of character. That is how you expect a reversal. That is how you expect a pullback, correction, retracement, whatever name that fits you. That is how you anticipate it. Okay? So we have said after a break of structure, we expect a pullback. Now, how do we expect this pullback? We expect it using change of character. Alright? Okay. Now let's dig into the downtrend. Now the downtrend is simply each highs staying below the previous one. That is why we have the tag lower high. So the next high has to stay lower than the previous high. The next high has to stay lower than the previous high. The next high has to stay lower than the previous high. That's it basically. So in a downtrend, all we want price to do is to take out the lows. The lows must be below the previous low for us to have a downtrend. If you don't have this thing displaying, if your current low is not lower than the previous low, it is not valid. So that is why it is important, like I said before, to mark your invalidated point for price, so that when price comes into that point, if it doesn't do what a downtrend should do, you know that it is invalidated. And in your uptrend, you mark your invalidated point. If price comes there and doesn't do what it's supposed to do, you know that it is invalidated. Good. Now, like I said, there are basics of market structure, right? There are certain things that we cannot do without when we talk about market structure. That is break of structure and change of character. Where we have CH is change of character. And as the name implies, change of character, it means change in direction of price. Okay? So I said earlier that after a break of structure, which happens when price breaks a key high or a low, okay, on the uptrend market it breaks a key high, in downtrend market it breaks a key low. Okay, now after a break of structure, I said this earlier but I am saying it again, after a break of structure we expect a pullback. How do we anticipate a pullback? We anticipate a pullback using change of character. Now people call it market structure shift. People even still call it break of structure. But notwithstanding, they're all correct. But I feel the simple term that if somebody wakes you up from sleep, you can just answer, change of character. Price has changed character. Price has changed its uptrend character. Price has changed its downtrend character. It's like saying price has changed its characteristics. right? So in a downtrend market, the characteristics is respect the highs, the lower highs, and break the lower lows. So the moment price doesn't do that, that is it changing character. It has changed characteristics to emanate into something else, to emanate into another trend entirely. Okay, like I said, when we are expecting reversals, what helps us to anticipate is the change of character. So now we see that price, formed the higher high, formed the higher low, broke structure to the upside, did this, broke structure to the upside again, and eventually price changed character. It simply means price has changed its characteristics to turned into something else. Okay, now we have a pullback. Even when we are about to have a pullback, when you zoom in, the candle is going to show you that, we are going to have a pullback for this change of character. But this is something you will learn more when you send a DM, and I'll take you on personal training on how to read price action in a fractal way, because price is fractal. The moment you understand how to read candlesticks in its fractal nature, that is when you will understand market structure. So now, before we have the change of character, you will have something like this. Okay, I'm not sure that was obvious. So before you have a change of character, price is coming like this, coming like this, coming like this, coming like this. So before this change of character occurs, you will have another fractal change of character. This is what you will have on your chart. My drawing is not the best, but please guys, manage it. Oh my god, this is hilarious. So this is what will happen when you get here. This is what will happen here. At every point, you will always observe, you will always notice, you will always see change of character. But to know which is important, to know which is to pay attention to, is what I will take you through when I am teaching you the fractal nature of price movement using just the candlestick, the simple candle pullbacks. It's as simple as that. Okay, let's continue. So we had this obvious change of character, but like I said, before it even comes to take it, you would have noticed it from here, and you would have sold down to this place. Okay, so we have this, right? Price has pulled back into this demand. We are not looking at demand, so I'll just go back to our main focus. So we see what just happened. So price doesn't just stay on its own and decides to move up and down. It shows you a sign. It tells you a story. It tells you, you know what, I am ready to do this. So it is left for you to know when price is ready to do these things, to know when price, to anticipate when price is ready to move in a different direction. Okay, so now price gets to this place, to form a higher low. How do you know that the higher low is complete? Some of you would use Fibonacci, some of you would use indicators. It is not necessary. The moment you know how to read fractal price action, you don't need no indicator, you don't need no EMA, you don't need no Fibonacci. Fractal price action does the work for you in a very simple and basic way. So once again, click on the link below and send a DM, and I will respond as fast as possible. Okay, so price gets here and we have another change of character before price decides to move. Okay, my drawings are terrible, but I did fine art, but it's okay. I did fine art, I promise. So you see what I'm talking about here. Let me add this for easy access. So we have this. So the moment we have this, we know that okay, price has fulfilled its objective. We are ready to go back up. Okay, so now we go high, and we have this, stuff happening here. Remember, when you mark your invalidated point, it helps you stay in track. Okay, so sometimes we are going to see this. Nothing is happening here. Nothing has happened here. Nothing, absolutely nothing. You know why? Because price did not achieve its objective here. Okay, price just did higher low, equal high, equal low, higher high. So this is the last point of invalidation. Okay, so you mark it. Last point of invalidation, you mark it, you let price do its thing. So if price comes back and invalidates that place you marked, that is a change of what? Character. So we see price changed character, retraced, and then pull back down to give us a higher low. And in completing that higher low, price changed character again to push to the upside. So guys, it's really as simple as it is, as simple as you make it. No fugazi, okay? No big thing, no big deal when it comes to market structure. As long as you understand the basics, you understand fractal price movement, you will always anticipate these moves in the market without stressing yourself. You already know, okay, price is about to do this, and you get yourself ready, you get your lot size ready, you get everything ready to execute when it comes, to your preferred location. So this is something for another day. Location or timing of prices, that is something for another day. So same thing goes for a downtrend. We have a lower low, we have price forming series of lower low, we have a lower high before it goes to form a lower high. There has to be a choke before price goes to form a lower high. It's not possible that price just moves to form a lower high. Okay, it's not done that way. So after lower high, we have a lower low. So how do I know? I ask myself, and you ask yourself too, how do I know that price is ready to go back to form a lower high? How do I know that lower low objective is complete? You just watch the price changed character and retest. Sorry guys. So what you do is you watch it change character. You see, because it has a rule. This trend has a rule, and the rule is don't cross my lower highs. It's like telling somebody, don't look for my trouble. If you look for my trouble, you will see the other side of me. I think this example resonates. So it's like telling somebody, you are in your chill space, you are having your moment, and you tell somebody, if you want to see the other side of me, do this, cross this line. If you cross this line, you will see what I'll do to you. If you cross this line, you will see my true color. That is basically what price does. So like, this is, you are price, and you are telling this guy, see, you see this line, guys? I think I have to go for drawing classes. You're telling somebody, have you seen this line? If you cross this line, you will see my true color. If you cross this line, you will see my true character. That is simply what price is telling. That's what they are telling each other. That is what sellers are telling buyers. Sellers are telling buyers, if you cross this line, you will see my true color. I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible, something we can all resonate with. Okay, let me bring myself back. I think I was a bit in the moment. So yes, price says, sellers tell buyers, if you cross this line you will see my true color. Buyers are like, really? I want to cross it and see your true color. Let me see what you will do. I want, some of us are like that. We want to see what can you do. And then buyers cross that line. Invalidated the sellers. They told sellers, F you, I have crossed the line, what you gonna do? Right? And they took over. And what did sellers do? Sellers formed a lower high. Okay? And then buyers are like, sellers, don't cross this line, I want to keep buying. If you cross this line, you will see what I will do. Sellers are like, I want to see what you will do. Let me see what you will do. Sellers cross the line and then brought price down. What they priced you, they formed a lower low. The same thing happened here again. So it just keeps going on and on repeatedly, on and on and on and on. Nothing is new, nothing is, oh, it just happened. Price would always tell you, I am ready to do this, I am ready to go here, I am ready to go there. All you just need to do is understand how to read fractal structure. So I hope you guys took something from this video. It might not have been the best, or I would not have maybe explained it the best possible way, but if you enjoyed it and you want me to come back on this particular thing, there is more to market structure. Market structure is beyond uptrend and downtrend. There is more to it. What facilitates this uptrend? What fuels this movement? That is what I am here to let you know. That is what, nobody is going to tell you these things. Nobody is going to teach you these things. It's the fractal movement of price that facilitates all these higher highs and higher lows that we hear every single day. You want to learn all this systematically and technically, not just mere words and theory. Hit the link below, send a DM, and I will take you up from there. So guys, do well to subscribe to this channel and stay tuned. Turn on your notification button. Stay tuned for more educative videos.